Jered, tell us how you think that everybody should get people pregnant really young, and that's your advice to young people.
Welcome to the Jered Williams Show.
What's up, Joel?
Jered, nothing. Just chilling, man. Oh, good to see you. How's your day going?
Pretty good, not too bad.
That's good.
Okay, I'm just breaking it out here. We're just going to talk about something. I have a thing that I want to talk about.
Oh, gosh.
Because in our last episode, we talked about what kids are going to do when they get out of college, what their opportunities are. And I think one of the opportunities that I see that I think would be really good, especially for kids who maybe they dropped down, got their GED. Hopefully they didn't listen to me, but maybe they did. This is a good thing for them to get into because anybody can get into it and anybody can make money at it.
Sure.
No questions asked. And this one goes out to the guy that mows my yard. Okay. I have this guy. He comes and mows my yard. He charges me $35 a cut. And being the businessman that I am, I was like, there's no way this guy's making money at $35 a cut. And I'm like, dude, you got to charge more. And he's
Sure.
like, typical pushback on charging more.
Sure.
Well, then I won't get, I'm already more expensive than this guy, or, nobody's going to hire me to mow their yard for more. And I'm like, dude, I will pay you whatever. I'll pay you what you're worth. I have no problem doing that. But that's beside the point. I think about like, okay, how does one operate a lawn care business is probably what you should call it.
Sure.
How does one operate a lawn care business out of high school, make $100,000 a year? What does that look like? How do you get there?
And that's $100,000 like take home, like in your pocket, 100,000 net for you?
We could probably shoot for that. Yeah, let's shoot for that. Like, I think at that point, you're probably going to need employees.
Yeah,
But
probably.
we could map out like how far you could get without employees.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I think it'd be good to
even if you just had like, well, we'll see. Let's map it out. Like start to finish.
Yeah. Okay.
I've already got some ideas because I've been thinking about this,
Mm-hmm.
but we can hash it out on this podcast. It'll be cool.
Okay, let's hash it out.
Yeah. So if you're a 20-year-old kid, and I mean, I guess if you're 20 to 35, really, and you just want to make more money than you're making now, $100,000 a year, then you should be able to watch this video. And by the end of it, start a lawn care business.
Yep.
And I think a lot of these things too, like we're going to have to talk about stuff that makes sense for a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
A lot of any service-based business, we're probably going to talk about some stuff that makes sense. Okay. So you just got out of high school, right?
Yep.
And you're going to start a lawn care business.
Heck yeah.
What do you got to do first?
Let's see. I want to start a lawn care business.
This is just like starting a plumbing business.
Yeah. I mean, I need to go and probably create an LLC, get a business name, get a logo, get the things that will represent me to the community.
Yep.
As I'm doing that, I need to be finding equipment to invest in. So I need to be looking at the type of lawns that are in my area and what kind of equipment I'm going to need. I should probably try to find my area too, right? Because like, I think the areas that I want to hit are going to be like your area where I have similar size lawns. It's not hilly and crazy. So I know I can get a particular type of mower. I don't have to have a bunch of different tools.
Houses are stacked together. Yep.
Houses are stacked together because you want to optimize your time, right? You want to be able to make your hourly rate, quote unquote, really work for you. So I can smash out 3 lawns in a very short amount of time and make a bunch of money doing it. So I need to plan my location too. So because that could be one thing that we can talk about. It's like, okay, Jered, but like, where is that? If that location is far away from me, then I have to account for that if I still want to do this lawn care business.
Yep. Yeah.
But so anyway, so I'm thinking about all these things as I'm getting my LLC and my name and logo and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking for a truck if I don't have one, or maybe something that can pull a trailer, depending on the equipment I'm getting.
Nope. Stay away from that.
No trailers?
No trailer. I think it's going to cost you too much in the beginning. And I don't think you need it in the beginning.
Would you suggest in the beginning, just like getting a lawnmower and a weed whacker?
Yeah, pretty much lawnmower, weed whacker, leaf blower. truck,
Yeah, leaf blower. Yeah,
and you
leaf
can
blower
make
truck.
some. You can get some 2x12s to ramp your mower up into your truck.
Yep.
Done. Just a push mower.
Yep.
Like you can
Now,
mow a lot of yards with a push mower.
would you recommend this is would you recommend a new car or a used car or what I can get and what I can afford?
Okay, so let's start there. So there's assumptions like you're going to have a little bit of money, or
Yes.
let's do this with as little money as possible. So
Yeah,
let's
because
just start
I'm
like
20. I ain't got no credit either. I
right.
got
Nope.
zero credit.
Right. So let's just start out like you got to go get your licensing. So you got to think of a name. It should be something something lawn care.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully something that like makes you like lets people know that you're part of the community. Very similar to a
Buzzkill
mowing
Lawn
business.
Care.
You don't use your last name, don't
Yeah.
use your first name, don't use your initials. Use something like in Florida, I'd use like Coastline Lawn Care or Palm Coast Lawn Care or something that
Mm-hmm.
people can remember, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if your town is known for something like in Fairbanks, I'd probably call it Prospector Lawn Care, right? Makes
Right.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Something somebody can remember. So you have your name. Let's see. Then you can go get your license. You can just go get your typical sole proprietorship. It's free in most states.
Mm-hmm.
So coming up with the name is free. Licensing is free. If not, it's probably $50. Let's just assume
Mm-hmm.
it's $50.
Mm-hmm.
Just get a sole proprietorship. Then you don't need an EIN. You just use your social security number, right?
Sure.
So the next step would probably be go get a logo. So you could go get a pretty quick, easy logo done at 99 Designs for $99.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll probably get 20 submissions. And I would just focus on making it look clean.
Sure.
So I wouldn't do
Memorable.
anything weird. I'd
Mm-hmm.
probably stay away from I would literally just like have some grass and my name or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't even know if I would go that far. Like grass and my name, everybody's gonna know what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And just to start, like you could go rebrand later if you want to take this thing to like
Right. Yeah.
massive company. Because you could make millions having a lawn care business.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so let's see, you got your logo, it's $99. Let's just say $100, and you got your licensing, $150 in. Now you need a truck, you need a
Mm-hmm.
mower, you need a trimmer or a weed whacker, and a leaf
Mm-hmm.
blower.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably gonna have to go get a truck. You're probably gonna have to put some money down on a truck.
Yeah.
Probably gonna have to put $1,000 down on a truck.
Mm-hmm.
I would get a truck that looks nice. I'd get
Yep.
a white truck that looks halfway decent. You know, it's not all dinged up and nasty
Mm-hmm.
looking. Like that's the one area I'd probably try to spend a little bit of money there. And then
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have to be okay having a truck payment. So you're
Right.
gonna have to make enough money. Like if your truck payment is $12,000 a month, well now we need to make $112,000 so you can pay that truck payment, still make your 100 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, go get a truck, go get a loan on a truck. And then I think I would go like if you absolutely didn't have any money to go spend on a mower, like you could go buy them new, but they're probably going to cost you, you know, a mower is probably going to cost you $800.
Mm-hmm.
A weed whacker is probably going to cost you $400, and a blower is probably going to cost you $800. So you're probably
Yep.
going to be a couple grand.
Yep.
So if you could, I'd go buy them new. If you couldn't, you could buy them used. That would save you some money. Just know that you're going to have to replace them sooner. But worst case scenario, go find somebody you know that has that equipment and go to them and say, hey, I'm starting a lawn care business.
Mm-hmm.
I need these 3 pieces of equipment that I know that you have that I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
How about if you loan me those, I will pay you $100 a month. Plus I'll mow your yard for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
I'd take
think
that deal.
yeah. Yeah, I think this is like where really the creative finance comes into play.
Yeah.
Because I think really to make this attractive is if we can figure out how to work this so you don't have to spend any of your own money at the beginning.
Right. Yep.
Like you are just cutting people into your business, not with like hard equity, but you're like, hey
Mhm.
man, I'm going to give you money because I'm going to use your truck and I'm going to
Yep.
use my cousin's lawnmower and I'm going to borrow this weed whacker. But you're not going to spend any of your own money at the beginning. and then
Yeah.
you're just going to pay these people, and then, like, keep your living expenses as small as possible when you're starting, so that you can continue to run this business. I
Yep.
think that would be like, because I mean, like, I think it's like, as 20 years old, like, man, I couldn't get a payment. Like, I would have to work a job, save money, which is hard enough already,
Yep.
because you're already living paycheck to paycheck. So you're saving like a
Right.
couple $100 a month. Like, screw that. So it's like, really, the creative finance seems like that would be the quickest way to actually begin to start the endeavor.
Yeah. The thing is, like, if you have the money to go get a truck now and get a decent looking truck,
Hmm.
I mean, you could get a much like you could pick up the cheapest truck possible,
Right.
but um, it's gonna look bad, number one, and then number two, that thing's gonna make you that money back, no problem.
Yeah. Yep.
Like in the first couple weeks,
Hmm.
you'll be able to make that money back,
Sure.
no problem, guaranteed.
Yeah.
So it'd be a risk. Like if I had the money, that'd be a risk I'd be willing to take.
Yeah. So then it's just, you just have to, if you can get that loan for that truck, like if you can actually qualify for it,
Right. Yep.
that's going to just be your hurdle.
Yeah, and I feel like if you went, you might even be able to find somebody. Like if you're really hurting, you might be able to find somebody that's willing to own or finance you a vehicle as well.
Sure. And I mean,
Right.
like, you can always like cut your parents into deals, like, depending on where your relationships with that too,
Yeah.
like, oh, dad's got a truck or whatever.
Yeah.
I would extend him, though, the professional deal. I wouldn't just be like, Dad, let me use the truck on the weekends. Like, I would approach it like a businessman and
I
be
would
like,
go to
Dad,
my, yeah,
like, I'm gonna
I'd go to
cut
my
you in,
dad and I'd
Dad.
be like, hey, dad,
Mm-hmm.
come co-sign on this truck for me. I'm starting a yard cleaning business.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would tell him everything we're about to tell you in this video
Mm-hmm.
to talk him into doing it
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah,
sure.
as like an investor.
Yeah.
To invest in you. And it's like, for me, if my kids came to me, because I'm always trying to get my kids to think entrepreneurially, because it's like, it's going to be their path to wealth,
Right.
like a much more sure path. And so if they
Yeah.
come to me with ideas and they're like, oh, I want to do this, I'm like, heck yeah. How can I
Heck yeah,
support you in that?
buddy.
Like, let's get it.
Hmm.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're like, if you can't afford it, figure something else out, right? Just figure it
Hmm.
out.
Hmm.
Because you're going to need a truck, a mower, a trimmer. That's a hard word for me to remember. A trimmer. I want to say weed whacker, but I think the correct term is trimmer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So if I say
Yeah.
weed whacker, I need trimmer or vice versa.
Yeah. Hmm.
And you're going to need a leaf blower. So then you've got like the basis of a business. You have the equipment, the license, and the logo. Then you need to go.
When do
Then
I
you
learn
need,
how to like mow a lawn?
dude. You know how to mow a lawn. It's super easy. You learn that on your first lawn mow, right? The thing that I
Yeah.
think people forget, there's lots of people out in this world that are like, if some young 20-year-old kid came to their house and knocked on their door, it's like, hey, I just started a lawn care business. I'm looking for lawns to mow. Would you like to be my first customer? This is how much it costs. There are so many people in this world that are going to be like, heck yeah, that's so rad.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're not going
Definitely.
to care if you don't look as professional or you don't do as good of a job on your yard.
Hmm.
They're gonna be excited to hire a 20-year-old that's out there hustling and bustling and
Hmm.
doing stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
I think a lot
Definitely.
of people forget about that. Like, you kinda
Hmm.
have that advantage as a 20-year-old if you're
Hmm.
willing to go hustle and bustle.
Yep, because you can just be honest with them. Be like, "You're my first one. This is gonna be awesome," and they'll be like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
And then you probably have a customer for as long as you stay there.
yeah. So at that point, all you need at that point is customers, right?
Mhm.
So I'd go start knocking on doors. I'd go to
Heck
that
yeah, dude.
neighborhood.
Yep.
Go to that neighborhood. If you can afford it, I would go send out postcards. It's like
Mm.
it's like 25 cents a piece to send a postcard, like a mailer out to
Mhm.
homeowners, and you could hit 1,000 of them for 25 cents a piece. So
Mhm.
you could spend 250 bucks. Let's just say it's 300 bucks. You could send out 1,000 mailers
Mhm.
to the neighborhoods that you want to hit, the zip codes you want to hit. And you can get those designed. I think it's like there's like lawn care design websites where they already have these
Mm.
things made for you.
Sure.
And you can download it and then do it. You can get door hangers and you can get door hangers that where you can write down how much the price is. You write down the
Mhm.
service and the price, and it's got your logo on it. And you can get postcards mailed out. So if you
Mhm.
did it in this order, and I watched a video on a guy who did this, this is where I got this idea. You go mail out 1,000 mailers. You go to the neighborhood where you mailed out the mailers, and you go start knocking on doors. Okay, so they've
Mhm.
already gotten your mailer. They already know your logo. They already recognize
Mhm.
you a little bit. They've already
Mhm.
seen you once.
Mhm.
Go knock on their door. If they answer, tell them exactly what I just told them.
Mhm.
Hey, sir. Hey, ma'am. You know, my name is so and so. With you should get a polo. Put a
Yeah, you
polo
should get a
on.
polo. Yep.
Yeah, put a
Look
polo and get
professional.
it embroidered. Like go on Vistaprint, order one polo and get it embroidered.
Yeah.
It'll
Yep.
probably cost you 25, $30, but it will
Yep.
be well worth it.
Yep.
Um, and let's see, have that conversation. Hey, I just started a lawn care business. So and so lawn care. Point to your shirt. Be nice and happy and smiley.
Yeah. Yep.
I would love to have you as a customer. If you're interested in lawn care, it costs this much. Here's my phone number. Give them the door hanger with the service and the price on it, and then say, if you need me, that's my phone number. Give me a call.
Mhm.
You'll probably get a bunch of people right then and there that are like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to have you mow my lawn."
Mhm.
Take their information down, get them on the schedule, la
Mhm.
di da di da. I would probably go door knock for like if you send out 1,000 mailers, you could probably go door knock for a week and
Mhm.
hit 1,000 doors. You might have to go. You might be there Saturday, Sunday, but you could
Sure.
probably hit 1,000 doors. They might be long days, but you could probably do it.
Sure. And at this
Um,
point, like, would you say that you're probably gonna have long days at the beginning of this business?
oh yeah, you're gonna have to be willing to do the work.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I'll be honest with you, right there. The fact that you have to go door knock, that's what's gonna stop most people from doing this because it's not easy, it's hard,
It
right?
is hard. It's a good thing. Like, it's a good
Like when
thing to
you're
learn how to do.
20 going on and getting postcards mailed and getting door hangers and going and knocking on doors, it's hard. It's
Yeah,
not a normal thing.
you're entering a conflict zone that you might not be used to. Like,
Right.
you're essentially you're cold calling, right?
Yeah, and just
You're
know, like, the
just
first few doors you knock on, it's gonna be really awkward. You're
Yep.
gonna really suck at it, but
Yep.
I guarantee you, like, 100 doors in, you're gonna be a total rock star.
Yep. And
Like,
then
after you go
1,000
knock
doors, it'll just be natural.
oh, dude, you'll be, like, door knocking king at that point, right?
Yep. And you have learned the ability to small talk at that point, which will serve you the rest of your life.
Yeah. So, let's just say, um, I feel like with yard care with yard care, I feel like mowing the lawn is, like, your foot in the door. And
Mhm.
then where you make your money is on the upsell,
Mhm.
like redoing their mulch or trimming their bushes or fertilizing their yard, that
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
Mhm. Sure.
So, and those are things where you're already at their house if you're mowing, right? So if you get them
Right.
on a
Yep.
mowing schedule, then when you're there mowing, you can upsell them on something else that they may need.
Would you create like tiered packages?
So probably eventually I would, but in the beginning I would just stick to neighborhoods where the yards are fairly similar.
Yeah, sure.
And
Well,
just know
I mean like tiered packages like, "Oh, I have basic, I mow your lawn. Level 2 is I do these other things, and level 3, and then you sell them on these different service packages."
so I would probably do it like I do my plumbing business. I would probably start a membership.
Mhm.
Like, hey, so it wouldn't actually be you're paying me to cut your yard. It would be join my membership and I mow your grass for free.
Yeah.
I mow your grass all year for free. So like down here in Florida where I'm at, we have like a 8-month season where the grass needs to be mowed.
Mhm.
Um, so then the other 4 months of the year, the lawnmower guy's not getting any income.
Yeah.
So I'd probably create a membership to where he's getting recurring revenue every single month. So if you start at 50 bucks a cut and if you start at 50 bucks a cut and you're hitting these neighborhoods, you're going to be able to go from house to house to house to house to house
Yep.
depending on how you schedule it. So you're going to be able to mow a lot of yards.
Mhm.
Like you're probably going to be able to mow 10 yards a day. No problem.
Mhm.
Weed whack and mow 10 yards a day all in the same neighborhood.
Mhm.
Doable, totally doable.
Mhm.
So if you're 50 bucks a cut, you should be able to make like 500 bucks a day, right?
Mhm.
Um, we're getting ahead of ourselves here though. So you door knock for 1 week, 1,000
Mhm.
doors. Typical door knock closing ratio is like 3%.
Sure.
So you door knocked for 7 days straight, hit 1,000 doors, you have 30 customers.
Mhm.
So let's assume on average you're going to cut their grass 8 months out of the year, 3 times a month
Mhm.
at $50 a cut. Let's do that math. I gotta
Some
pull out
high
my
level
calculator.
math. I got
It'd
to
be
enroll in college for
150.
this.
Be 150 times 8, right? That's 1,200
Mhm.
bucks. And then let's split that up over the course of a year. So that'd be $100 a month. So when you're knocking on these doors, you can, I would probably say $100 a month, or I'd probably stick with only monthly. So I would tell them, especially down here in Florida, I would
Mhm.
say, so anywhere where your season's shorter, you might have to add on some other services
Yeah,
to make
sure.
it
To make
to
up the
make
off season.
yeah. So like you could hang Christmas lights or shovel
Yeah.
driveways or that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Um, but that's a whole other convo. We'll just assume
Yep.
this business is in Florida.
Mhm.
So let's see. You could go to their door. Yep. Here's how we do it. It's $100 a month. We keep your yard mowed. Whenever your grass is tall, we come mow it. Don't have to call
Mhm.
us. Don't have to notify us. Don't have to worry about paying our bill.
Mhm.
We take care of it. You don't have to
Mhm.
think about it. And that right there is what you want to sell,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
that's what homeowners want. They don't want to think about their yard, right?
No, yeah, because they're buying their freedom is what they're buying. They're buying their time.
Yeah.
That's what
They
they're
don't have to
buying.
call you. They don't have to
Yep.
worry about you sending a bill through email. They just
Gotta
know you're
remember
just going to show
thing.
up and
Yep.
mow the yard whenever it needs
Yep.
mowed, right?
Mhm.
So you've got 30 customers at $100 a month. You're making 3 grand a month.
Mhm.
What do we need to make it hit 100?
Mm, I don't know. High level math.
It's hard, dude.
Dude, I know. Work is hard.
Okay, that is, you need to hit 8350, we'll call it.
Yeah.
So you're almost halfway there.
Yep.
So you've got 3 grand a month in recurring revenue. You knock doors for a week. You can mow 10 yards a day, so you only have 3 days of work to do. So the following week you could go mow all those yards, right?
Mhm.
And while you're there,
Mhm.
you order more door knockers.
Mhm.
Order more door knockers, and while you're there, every time you go mow a yard, go hit up the neighbors again.
Mhm.
Go hit up the neighbors with other services, right? Because you already hit them with your
Sure.
yard maintenance. Go hit them up
Sure.
with mulching or pressure washing their driveway, or, well, you don't have
Mm.
a pressure washer yet. But hit them up with some other sort of service, getting rid of their leaves. Like if it's fall time, if it's
Mhm.
springtime, cleaning up their leaves because they didn't pick them up before winter.
Mhm.
Trimming their bushes, all that kind of stuff. You can do all that.
Hmm.
So I would go hit them up. I'd leave one of those door knockers on their door with the service. Hey,
Mhm.
just so you know, I offer this service as well. It's this much money.
I would also really, I would say, know their names. Like when you first door knock, memorize their names
Oh
because
man.
when you go again and you say, "Oh, Jim, how's the," like when you begin to know them, you're going to be able to sort of, because some of these people are going to have somebody mowing their lawn, right?
Right.
And so in order for you to be competitive, there's going to be the little things like that. Like if you know
Yep.
their name and because they're going to see you all the time if you're mowing their neighbor's yard. And for you not
Yep.
to be annoying and just always knocking, you knowing their name is going to be really, really powerful.
True. I agree. And if you smile.
And if you smile, you
Yep.
wave to them
Yep.
and
Yep.
probably read some sales books so that you
Yep.
can like learn sales techniques because that's what you're going to
Oh
need to
yeah.
sort of win them over.
Yep. Yep. Probably the number one sales technique you're going to need is ask for the sale.
Yep.
And you can literally just say like, "What do you think?"
Mm-hmm.
and force them to say yay or nay, because they don't want to
Mm-hmm.
say no. It's uncomfortable,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
So when you're doing those 30 houses, out of those 30 houses, you can upsell all that same stuff: mulching, um, bush trimming, picking up leaves, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
You can offer those same services, cleaning up dog poop, whatever,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
um, to all the customers that you've gone and worked for. Okay. So let's
Mhm.
assume that every time you offer 30 customers, you sell another 3% on some sort of other service.
Mhm.
For those other services, you want to charge probably close to, you're probably going to need to be like 120 bucks an hour on those services.
Mhm.
And so if you sell, let's just say you sell an hour service to, what would it be, two more customers, you
Mhm.
just made another 240 bucks. So now you're
Mhm.
at 3,240. And let's say you went to all their neighbors, like 5 neighbors times 30. How many houses is that?
5 times 30. Is that 150?
Something like that. So maybe you get another 3 out of those, right?
Yeah.
So you just made another 360 bucks.
Yeah.
So you're nearing 4 grand and you're only a week and a half in. It's
Sure.
pretty good. We're halfway there.
And you're
So
working
then
what'd you say? You're working 3 days a week?
you got 30 customers, so it took you 3 days to mow them all. Maybe it took you
Yeah.
4 days because you're going and knocking on doors and all that kind of
Sure.
stuff. So then you go do it all over again, right? The following
Mhm.
week you don't need to mow, so you're gonna go knock on 1,000 doors
Mhm.
again. Like, go
Mhm.
do it again.
Mhm.
Get another 30 customers. You now got 60 customers. Out of those 60 customers, you're gonna sell them. You're gonna upsell them on stuff. You're gonna upsell their neighbors on stuff.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, you just hit the 100 grand mark, right?
Mhm.
And you're only mowing 60 yards. And if you can mow 10 yards a day, right?
Mhm.
Then that's only 6 days of mowing.
Mhm.
So you just
'Cause you
repeat this. You just
'cause you need
repeat this
about
process a few times.
yeah, 'cause you need about what, 90 customers? Somewhere in there, give or take?
So you got to hit 8,300 a month, and they're paying you $100 a month per. So you need 83.
So you need
So you
83
just literally
customers.
just repeat that process. Go door knock
Mhm.
until you hit 83 customers. And
Mhm.
even if it takes you 16 days to mow all of those yards out of the month, that's only half the month.
Right. Mhm.
So once you get to that point, okay, you're making 100 grand recurring revenue and
Mhm.
very small amount of upsales at
Mhm.
$120 an hour. That's when you go get a website, go hire a
Mhm.
marketing company, get a website made, get a Google My Business, um, and that way people can find you, and then go start doing like mailers and stuff out to new neighborhoods, and then
Mhm.
go and door knock. And once you get like
Mhm.
20 more yards, 20 or 30 more yards, and you're at, 100 yards, 110 yards, let's see, then what does that put you at? What's 110 yards put you at? That puts you at 132,000 a year. Then you go hire your first employee, just some college kid, pay him $32,000 a year, whatever that is, hourly. Pay him 16 bucks an hour. Okay.
Hmm. Mhm.
Start mowing and weed whacking your yards for you. So
Mhm.
hire him, teach him how to do your process, teach him how you want the yards mowed,
Mhm.
how you want the weed whacking done, how you want the edging done. Put him in your truck and have him do exactly what you were doing. Now
Mhm.
he's mowing all the yards. Okay.
Mhm.
Now you go get another truck, another mower, another weed whacker or whatever they call it, and another leaf blower. And guess what you go do?
You do the same thing. Go
You go
knock on
start
some
knocking
doors.
on doors, right?
Mhm.
Go knock on doors, get another 30 customers, go mow their stuff, go knock
Mhm.
on doors, get another 30 customers, go get their stuff. And I'm telling you, like, if you would just, you're going to, like, at that point, you're going to start getting calls from your website, from your
Right.
Google My Business.
Mhm.
And then when you go knock on, if you can send out the mailers and then go knock on doors, you're gonna start getting more and more customers. You're gonna
Mhm.
start putting stickers on your trucks. You're gonna look
Mhm.
legit. People are
Mhm.
gonna You're gonna leave people's houses and they're gonna look you up and be like, "Oh, this guy's legit," and they're gonna call you
Mhm.
back.
Mhm.
Um, So I'd say go get another 80 customers and then hire your next guy. So
And I
now
think, I mean,
now
Jared, I
you're
think
at
we forgot one thing.
what's that?
I think a long time ago you could have been, you should be investing in your lawn care brand through social media. You
Oh,
should
yeah, yeah,
be
yeah.
you should be posting because, like, especially as an individual, like I don't know, you go on Instagram and you see these guys who do service work and they make
Mhm.
a brand out of them as individuals doing it. Those
Yep,
do really well.
yep.
I mean, so it's like, get your phone, go buy a $13 tripod, set it up, and mow lawns and begin developing a brand about that. And I would encourage you to develop your personal brand about that because
Dude,
that'll do well. And then you can really start to bring in business that way.
honestly, I would stick to door knocking
Really? But what
until
about your extra time?
I wasn't out there mowing yards.
Mm,
I think it's gonna be too much for you to think about. Like, if
gotcha.
you're mowing yards, taking calls, and doing door knocking,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be busy.
Sure.
You're gonna be really busy.
Sure.
Hiring your first employee, getting them going, and then going and do more door knocking,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be busy. And I think once I had like 2 or 3 trucks going,
Mm-hmm.
then I would go, okay, I can slow down. Let's figure this marketing piece out, the social
Sure.
media out, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But I think door knocking is going to be like, for that kind of service, I think
Right.
it's going to be super effective.
Right.
It's number one, it's super cheap, right? So
Yep.
you don't need a ton of money to do it. And then number two, you're getting face to face with the customer.
Sure. Yeah.
So you have a huge chance to make a good impression.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that'd probably be the most beneficial way to get new customers for
Mm-hmm.
sure. And then
Mm-hmm.
once you're at the point where you're like tired of door knocking, maybe you can hire somebody to door knock for you.
Mm-hmm.
But then at that point, like once you have people door knocking for you, then I would go invest in like other forms of marketing.
Sure.
But I mean, honestly, you could probably grow a multi-million dollar business off door knocking.
Sure.
I know people do it. And that's
Mm-hmm.
all the marketing they do.
Mm-hmm.
Door knock.
Hmm.
Another good service you can offer, test the soil, the pH level of the
Yeah.
soil,
Yep.
and do fertilizing.
Mm-hmm.
And you could sell that, like you could sell that for the whole year. You could be like, yeah, we'll sell it for the whole year, right? It
Mm-hmm.
costs
Mm-hmm.
$500 a year, and we'll add in
Sure.
fertilizing. You could also do
Mm-hmm.
the bush trimming that way, right? You could say, yeah, for an extra, $20 a month or $10 a month, we'll trim your bushes.
Sure.
It take you not very long to trim their bushes. For an extra so much a month, we'll weed your whatever, right?
Did you build a pricing calculator for this?
I slightly did, like, I put in some of the expenses of what they would have,
Mm-hmm.
and so you probably need to be, like, 120, $140 an hour.
What'd you factor for gas?
I think I factored, like, your truck would probably be burning, $400 a month in gas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And your equipment?
Yeah, your equipment would be burning some gas,
Mm-hmm.
and I put in, like, 15 grand of equipment that you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to buy, that kinda stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way I would do that is and so that would give you 30% profit margins, if you're
Mm-hmm.
hiring cheap and just using push mowers.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would structure this in a way where you had a membership, so they're paying you $100 a month,
Mm-hmm.
and then the add-ons I would also do monthly,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
but since they're in the membership, they get a discount on the add-ons.
Sure.
So if you're charging $120 an hour for your add-on
Mm.
services, right,
Mm-hmm.
at 30% profit margins, then you can afford to discount them 10% for your
Right.
members, right?
Right. Yep. And
So
still hit 20%.
so then when you go to the neighbor's house and you're like, "Hey, we offer, we can replace your mulch for this much, or you could join our membership. It's this much per month.
Oh, sure.
Plus you get
Gotcha.
10% off this mulching, plus you get free lawn maintenance, lawn mowing for the whole year."
Yeah, that's smart. So
Good pitch, right?
yeah, your goal is selling the membership, but you get them to the membership through the upsells,
Yes.
which or with those customers aren't really upsells. They're just like, hey, I'm going to sell this service, but you
Yeah.
can get a discount if, yeah, that's
Yeah.
smart.
Hey, if you join our membership, you can get this service 10% off, whatever, 10% off all of our other services.
Mm-hmm.
Plus we'll take care of our yard. You don't have to think about it.
Mhm. Hmm.
That'd be a good little thing, right?
Yep.
And so if you could if you could get guys to mow, say there's 20 available days in a month, if you could just get them to mow 8 yards a day, what does that come out to? So that'd be 8 customers a day. What's 8 times 20? 1,600. So they're making 1,600 bucks for you a month. No, they're making 16,000 for you a month, right?
For 3 guys?
For one guy, each guy is billing
Mhm.
out 16,000 a month.
Mhm.
So each guy that you have is going to bill out just on cuts, just on
Right.
memberships
Right.
is going to be
Sure.
192,000 a month. And you only have to pay those guys. Like you could pay those guys all year long at that rate, right? You could probably
Mhm.
pay them 20 bucks an hour.
Right.
And you could pay them when they're not working during the slow season.
Right. They would
I
like
mean,
that.
really. Oh yeah, they would
That
love
would
that.
that would keep them around for the rest of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and then maybe you can find a service that you can offer to the customers during that season that would fill in
Mhm.
that time. So
Mhm.
maybe you could go pressure wash driveways,
Mhm.
or maybe you could do something of that sort.
Mhm.
But so think about it this way, each employee is billing out 192,000. You get 5 employees going
Mm.
and you're billing out 960,000.
Wow. Which is 5.
You sell 40, you sell another 40,000 of upsells, which is totally doable.
Sure.
You have $1 million business
Yeah, with 5 guys doing
with
lawns.
5 guys doing lawn care.
Mhm.
Totally doable.
How
All
many
with
customers?
all with trucks and push mowers.
Mhm.
100 bucks a month, so 1,200 bucks per customer. So 800 customers.
800 customers.
Yep. Yep.
Mm.
So for every 1,000 doors you knock on, you get 30.
Mhm.
So that'd be you'd have to knock on 26,000 doors. You'd do 20 that's only 26 weeks of door knocking.
Sure, yeah,
Not that
sure.
bad, right?
No, not that bad.
Like at that rate, at those prices, like you could probably afford in there to hire a full-time door knocker. And then
Mhm.
you're just continually adding yards, continually adding
Mhm.
people that mow, continually adding upsells, and on and on and on.
I think the limitation is just gonna be your area and, like, how many houses you got in your area, do you think?
In Pensacola, Florida,
Sure.
probably hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
And
many?
you
Because
only
like,
need
ideally, you'd
800.
find, like, a really dense area, right?
Oh
So that
yeah,
you wouldn't have to
totally.
go so far.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, this would be tough. Like where you're at in Fairbanks, there's 35,000 homes. I
Mm.
bet you could get 800 homes.
Yep, probably. Yeah, with
Yep.
35,000. The distance might be a little longer, and the lawns are definitely a lot different
Yep. You just might
'cause
have
they're
to be
not
more
cookie cutter.
expensive to make up for that. You might
Sure,
have to be
yeah.
120 bucks a month or
Mhm,
150 bucks a month, right?
mhm.
But
And
people
I'd
are
only
still gonna
cut
wanna
lawns
pay
for,
you.
like, 2 months a year, you know?
Yeah, that's the bum part about where you're at.
Yeah.
But pretty much anywhere else in the United States, even if you're cutting lawns 6 months out of the year, you just make your product. I mean, when you're stretching it out over the entire year, then you're good to go.
Mhm. Yeah, sure.
If
Because.
you can
Mhm,
like, even the people who maybe they 6 months out of the year, 3 months out of the year, it's snowy, so you offer them, you know, free, throw in the membership. Yeah, we'll cut your grass for these 6 months, and then we'll come pick up your leaves, in fall
mhm,
time,
mhm,
and then come spring, we'll come and, you know, irrigate or not irrigate, but whatever they do, they poke the holes in the grass.
mhm,
You
mhm,
can go rent one of those, go poke the holes in the
mhm,
grass, and we'll fertilize. It's all included in the
mhm,
membership. That way you don't have to think
mhm.
about your grass, right?
Right.
Yep,
Yeah.
and then you get them on the upsells. You start trimming their bushes, that kinda
Mhm,
stuff.
mhm. Yeah, cool. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, dude, easy peasy.
Easy
Anybody can
peasy.
do it. I think the hardest part about that is just door knocking.
Yeah, door knocking and just like the labor side because it's just laborious.
True. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard work.
Yep, it's gonna be hard work.
It's going to be hard work until you get enough trucks going
Yep,
and you can pull out.
yep.
It's pretty similar to like the plumbing business.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're
Yeah,
basically
it's kind of
doing
the
the
same
same
goal.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. And
It's
I
almost better because it's easier.
do you think that then at the end you could have a profitable business that you could sell?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Like if you could you
Mm-hmm.
could scale that to the moon, okay? So you could turn that into a $5 million a year
Mm-hmm.
business with
Mm-hmm.
a few thousand customers, and you would need, if each 5 employees bring in $1 million, then you only need what, 25 employees, 25
Mm-hmm.
people out in the field. And if you can hit 30 or 40% profit margins, which you probably could with that,
Mm-hmm.
you'd yeah, that'd be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, because I think that's like people can't forget that piece of it too, where it's like, hey, you're 20 years old, you made this business. Let's say takes you if everything went well, how long do you think it would take to get to that 5 million mark? Let's say.
Dude, I bet you could get there in a couple of years.
So then, like, let's say you're 20, and like by year 25, you have a business that's worth 5 million. That if
Oh,
you
yeah.
wanted to, you could sell it to somebody, and then you could
In
walk away with a good chunk of money to go do something different. But you're 25 years old,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
and you've
And
just
you've learned a lot.
dude, you've learned so many
You've
skills.
learned a lot of skills,
Yeah,
right?
you've learned how to work your butt off. You've learned how to door knock. You've learned how to
Mhm.
navigate uncomfortable social situations.
You've
You've
learned
learned
how to
how to,
lead people,
yep, how to
have
hire people, how to
employees.
fire people, how to do all
Yep.
these things. Like you learned a ton, and you made a good chunk of money doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a way more like the experience itself is super valuable for all those things. And you're
Definitely.
so young that the next thing you can do, you have such a good blueprint of how to do it business wise.
Yep. Yeah. And then you just go do something else.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool.
Dude, I'm
Thanks,
gonna go
Jared.
start I'm gonna go start a lawn care business.
I know. I can tell you're
That
inspired. Look
sounds
at you.
easy.
I feel like you'd mow like 3 lawns and you'd be like, "I'm over it. I'm good on
I
this. It's
would not
hot."
mow lawns. I would just hire somebody to mow the
You'd hire
lawns
right off
right
the
off the
bat.
bat. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Would you do the door
I'd
knocking?
burn the money first. What's that?
Would you do the door knocking?
I'd do the door knocking, that'd be fun. I could do that.
Yeah. Go talk to your
Back
neighbors and
when I was
everything?
20, I would've hated that, but now
Yep.
I'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah, you get all those grannies.
Yeah. All the old ladies start flirting with them.
Yeah, all the old ladies, yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep, Crystal would let you door knock.
That's like my secret power.
Yeah, your
I got
secret
2
power is
superpowers.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can funnel in and focus,
Yep.
and I can also flirt with grandmas very
Yeah.
well.
Old ladies love you.
Like, it's like 15 up. I don't know why. I have no idea.
I
I don't know what it is.
I love hearing Christelle talks about it because she's always like, he becomes a different person. It's so funny. Uh, well, everybody, go start your lawn care business.
See ya.
See ya.
Hey guys, if you liked that episode and you want to see more content like that, I've picked out a special episode just for you. All you got to do is click right here. Go ahead and do it. Just click right there.